What's up everyone, my name is RK Sonic, but if that doesn't work for you, you can also call me Ruben. Today, we're going to continue our journey through time and the legacy of modern Sonic's main series gaming career. Last time we went through the Adventure series, so if you haven't seen that yet, do me a favor and check that out first, alright? I don't want to waste any more time, so let's get started with the classic from 2003. Sonic Heroes. Nothing screams nostalgia more to me than this game. This was Sonic's first multi-platform game that released on December 30th, 2003. Now let me tell you something, this game is one that I feel doesn't get talked about enough. As biased as I am, and don't care enough to hide it, there's this charm that Sonic Heroes had that was never seen again. And I don't know where exactly that charm lies. Against games like Sonic Adventure 2, Heroes is graphically inferior, which was done intentionally by Sonic Team so the game could be ported easier on the Xbox, PS2, and GameCube. It sounds pretty lazy, but I guess in the end it worked out. Sonic Heroes introduced a unique and original mechanic never before done in a main series Sonic game, which was the ability to play as a team all at once. You got 4 teams at your disposal, so let me introduce you to our cast of heroes. You got Team Sonic, Team Dark, Team Rose, and finally, Team Chaotix. Each team is set with their own purpose and story throughout the game. Some teams cross each other's paths, have meaningless fights to the death, but in the end, it all leads to everyone having to unite and, you guessed it, use the power of teamwork to save the day. In my opinion, it's one of the most lighthearted Sonic games out there, and I mean that in the best way possible. But with the good, there's also the bad, and this game's flaws come with its gameplay. The best way I can describe it is like running on ice skates that have the ability to stop on a dime, which is just another way of saying that this game is slippery as hell. Speed is something that definitely stands out in this game. If you're a veteran at it, you'll learn how to control that speed. But if you're new to the game, then there's a good chance you'll end up like this.
No! 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 No!
But on a positive note, the game encourages you and, in a way, forces you to play as every member of your team, which is something I really enjoyed. Like, for real, who would have thought that I'd ever have fun playing as Big the motherfucking cat? I'm okay. Which leads me to my next point. Each team is identical, with very minor differences. If you know how to play as Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails, then you know how to play as everyone else. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I guess if you were to try and play this game all in one shot, then it can get repetitive. And speaking of repetitive, every team goes through the same 12 locations in the exact same order. Yes, the levels themselves are all unique in each playthrough, but it can get real tough to want to play through each team after completing one story. But I guess in the end, it's all worth it to get to that final story and take down a returning villain using the super power of teamwork! Sorry. I won't do it again. I promise. Overall, Sonic Heroes is a blast from the past. Although it has slippery controls with repetitive gameplay, it makes up for that with an amazing use of team mechanics, level designs, good voice acting, and an immersive soundtrack. It's a game that I can always come back to time and time again. So on my tier list, Sonic Heroes gets a B rank.
That was tight!
Oh dear God, no. No, I don't want to do this. I mean, can I just skip this next one? I mean, I don't think anyone wants to hear me talk about this next game, right? No? I mean, I don't have the strength, please. I don't have the strength to get through this next game. Please, no. Sonic the Hedgehog, infamously known as Sonic 06, and also unofficially known as Sonic Adventure 3. Why? Because a lot of fans refuse to believe that this was supposed to be that game. That's why. Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 was released on November 14th, 2006. This was the year of Sonic's 15th anniversary, and it was ultimately one of Sonic's most hyped games ever at the time. It was originally meant to serve as a sort of reboot to the entire series, and it was also going to be Sonic's debut on next-gen consoles at the time. which were the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. I want to get the obvious out of the way here because I know that many of you know where this story goes. But in the end, the game ended up being a complete disaster. We can sit here and have a whole 45-minute lecture on why the game ended up the way it did. From the rushing in development to get a 2006 holiday release, or the fact that Sonic Team was split into two in order to work on a new title for the Nintendo Wii, which ended up being Sonic and the Secret Rings. We'll talk about that in the next video. There are many factors that come into play that led to this game's downfall, but for now, I'll leave the politics out of it and talk about my opinions on the game itself. First, let's talk about story. But also, let's not talk about story because there is just way too much that goes on here. So here's a terrible Cliff Notes version. You have Sonic, you have a princess. The princess holds power within herself that Eggman wants to harness in order to rule over time and space. She gets captured several times, Sonic saves her several times. She and Eggman even die at some point. It's all the Sonic. Yes, that's right, you heard me. In the game titled Sonic the Hedgehog dies. A whole bunch of time traveling happens so that way Eggman and the princess never die, and then the power of love and the Chaos Emeralds bring Sonic back to life. So look, I'll admit that the idea of Sonic saving princesses is pretty badass. But there is a reason why that concept works for Mario and Peach. For starters, Mario is not a fucking hedgehog. Like seriously, I would love to know what was going on through the minds of the story designers and writers when coming up with the idea of Sonic developing a romantic relationship with a grown-ass human princess. I mean, for fuck's sake, the game is almost 15 years old and I still can't wrap my head around the whole thing. Anyways, in the midst of all this chaos, we're introduced to Silver, who is from the future and is best friends with Blaze. His goal is to save his future by going to the past and stopping this villain known as the Iblis Trigger. The only problem with that is that he is fooled into thinking that the Iblis Trigger is Sonic. So this leads into a bunch of nonsense bullshit encounters between the two, but in the end, Silver learns the truth and helps out the good guys. Shadow is the final third of this game that you play as. His story deals with a lot of time traveling that helps connect this whole mess of a story to make it make sense, even though it doesn't. Throughout his story, he reunites with Team Dark, and his whole character arc got rewritten, so now he works for the government, I guess? To be honest, I always forget, so excuse me if I'm wrong. Either way, he has his badass moments and has one of the most memorable scenes in the entire game.
The world will betray you. Why fight at all? Why risk your life for those who will persecute you later?
If the world chooses to become my enemy, I will fight like I always have.
Memphis, Tennessee is our main villain.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Memphis, Tennessee, and I'm part lizard. Nice to yoroshiku onegaishimasu, as they say in Nippon.
Oh wait, sorry, no. I meant Me-Files.
Meat files. I should have guessed.
No? Oh, yes, that's right, sorry. You know, if you watch a lot of Snapcube like I do, then, just forget it. Mephiless the Dark is our villain. He's got a cool design, great voice actor, and arguably one of Sonic's best villains ever. Even though they never interact once, unless you count. So Mephiless is the true mastermind behind all this. He uses the power of the Chaos Emeralds and fuses with Iblis to become Solaris. So in the end, Sonic, Shadow, and Silver go Super Saiyan and take them down. Look, it's like I said earlier, there is so much that happens in this game. But in our final moments of it, Elise, the princess, blows out a candle that erases every single moment of this game from existence. Yeah, that's right. The events of Sonic 06 never happened. Just like how I wish this game never happened. I think this just goes to show that even if the rest of this game was flawless, its story could have still been the reason why it failed. I've rambled so much about it already, so let's quickly dive into the heart of this game's problems, the gameplay. First up, Sonic. He feels and plays like a worse version of Sonic Heroes. The game can't seem to decide whether to go at a fast or steady pace. So in other words, it's easy to crash into things and lose control. Especially in the god-forsaken Mach speed sections, where he is going at blazing speeds and has delayed movement to emphasize that speed. You can't stop him or slow him down, so if you miss a jump or can't react fast enough, it's all over. To be honest, I'm someone that actually likes the concept of Mach speed sections. It feels so cinematic and intense, but these just weren't executed well. But despite everything I've said, Sonic is still the character you'll have the most fun with, believe me. Silver is up next, and to be honest, there's not much I can say about him. He runs at jogging speeds, and his levels are based around him and his psychokinetic powers. You can stop things in midair, throw them back, move things with your hands, right? That's cool. It's pretty much the Force, but even though he had amazing potential, the whole thing just fell flat. And he has not been playable ever since. As for Shadow, things just get even worse. He's an even slower version of Sonic with his few chaos abilities that you'll never use. Sonic Team must have thought that Shadow's game the year before was a hit because they put him back in vehicles that have guns on them. And just like the game Shadow the Hedgehog, it doesn't work. Long story short, Shadow was easily the character that I got the most frustrated with. Throughout every main character's game, you'll play a level or two as the side pieces. Side characters. Like Tails, Knuckles, Rouge, Omega, but to save my breath and your time, they suck. The end. That's all you need to know. Sonic 06 was set up to be a great and memorable game, and after almost 15 years, it's still referenced by fans and the media. In my opinion, it's Sonic's worst title ever, but despite all the hate I'm giving it, there are a couple positives to take away from it, such as its amazing soundtrack that gave us, in my opinion, the best and most definitive Sonic theme of all time, or the beautiful CGI cutscenes scattered throughout the game. Sonic 06 had the potential, but unfortunately, on my tier list, it gets a D rank. Well, I think that's enough talking on my part. What do you think? Well, if you made it this far, then I couldn't be more grateful. If you enjoyed what you heard, then do me a favor, hit that like button, comment your thoughts with me, and subscribe. Part 3 of this Sonic tier list is coming soon, so be on the lookout for that. But until then, this is RK Sonic, signing off. Thank you so much, and have a great night. And without further ado, enjoy the outro.